All right. Hey, everybody. Shh. We are live for episode 2 of the Tech Trainer Show. Woo!
Woo!
Oh,
Are we live?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? I know that episode 1 was so popular. We got renewed for episode 2.
We got approved. We got approval. We're approved for number 2.
So we're back. For those of you who missed Tech Trainer Show episode 1 2 weeks ago, we're just gonna do this every other week because we're just like lazy and tired. So we're gonna do this every other week. And 2 weeks ago on episode 1, what did we talk about? We talked about
Smartplans.
Campaign, Smartplans. What else?
And designs. Awesome.
Referrals.
And so for everyone who's tuning in for the very first time, why don't we all introduce yourselves? You guys go first.
Okay, I'm Shannon Dager. I am the Regional Technology Director for the Ohio Valley region.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo, woo.
Best region. Sorry.
And I'm Lesley Jackson representing Colorado RTT.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
here.
And I'm Laura Pozzi, and I am the Regional Tech Trainer for the Northwest region, which is Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho.
You have 4
Look for
states.
more. There's no.
Yes.
I only have 3.
Upper left. And we have a
No,
big
why do you have
state.
so
Do you know
many
how big
states?
Alaska is? Alaska's huge.
Why do you have so many states? It's crazy.
Because our regional director is amazing, and he is like a true pioneer. He just like went out and got the states.
Like,
Ooh,
legit,
shout out to
Alaska.
RDs.
He's like a pioneer.
You got to shout out to RDs.
I'm Nick Baldwin, Regional Tech Trainer for Michigan, Northern Ohio. I have a little bit of Shannon State, and I'm going to get more. No, I'm kidding. I don't have any power over that, so it's just a little out of the Cleveland part, and I don't know what happened there. They were just like, they drew a line, and they went into Ohio a little bit by mistake, and they didn't have an eraser, and that's how it happened. But
We can share Ohio, Nick. We're
okay, we'll
good.
share a little. So anyway, in case you guys are joining us for the very first time, the Tech Trainer Show, the idea is to talk to you guys out there in the world, learning command, trying to figure things out. And every region now has a tech trainer. So if you have like really specific questions, you can go to them or go to your team leader or your tech driver within your market center, and your tech trainer can definitely help you. But every region has one. These are 3 of my favorites, and that's why we're doing this. Just kind of bring more clarity around how command works, what you guys can be implementing, some strategy that we can teach you, and things of that nature. Let's just kind of get started. Laura, you said last time people were really interested in specifically Smartplans. Like, I can't remember exactly how to implement them, or what was the specific.
Yeah, there was just a lot of energy around Shannon's presentation around Smartplans. This isn't me punting it off to Shannon either. I am going to follow up on this. And I remember we were talking about it. We got into the higher level bird's eye of some best practices. And I think that there was an ask for kind of getting into the nitty gritty, like some examples of how people are using Smartplans effectively, how to more effectively set up a custom smart plan, that sort of thing. So I thought maybe we could get started in that if you want.
It's a great place to start, because I personally think that the reason why agents aren't using Smartplans enough is because, well, they are using neighborhood nurtures and happy birthdays and things like that. But I think that the reason they're not using it enough is because they don't know they don't know how to do it, right? They don't know how to create a cadence of text, email, phone call. They don't know how to do that. They don't know their scripts. This is new to them, right? That's kind of my theory. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think you have other theories around why they're not using it as much?
I think they're intimidated to create them. And it's hard to think about. They think it's harder than it is. And I think that what they don't realize is it is a complete game changer. If you use a smart plan, you are providing yourself with leverage to reach so many more people on a consistent basis. And there are so many different ways you can use it. And it's not just using it to sell yourself, it's also using it to stay in touch, to grow a relationship, to recruit if you're a team leader, to recruit to your team, if you are an agent, to recruit to your business. There's so many things that you can do with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And so, especially with Facebook, because Facebook is a big feature within our system, like following up the Facebook leads. Like, what do I say, right? Because Facebook leads are so different than like, you know, your realtor.com leads and Zillow leads, and the approach has to be completely different, and the cadence has to be completely different. And I think you're right. Like it's scripts, and it's like, you know, it's just being kind of intimidated by how the process works in a sense. Lesley, you look like you were going to add something. I'm not sure if you were, but.
Yeah, totally. I was going to add, you know, I get the question a lot too. Like we were just discussing, you know, where do I begin? What do I say? And I think most people just they overthink the process too much, right? And like Shannon had said earlier, it's really about building relationships and just being your authentic self. You know, be your authentic self in those text messages. Like we've seen your Facebook Smart Plans, Nick, and a lot of your like content is just being like, hey, how's it going? And I saw that you were looking at in this area. Were you interested in buying homes in this area? And it just all starts with a conversation and also just a question. Like, what did you do? How did you create your campaign? What was the content? What was your intent? And then follow up with your intent in your smart plan so you can match and be cohesive in the same message that you're putting out there.
Yeah, totally. I'm actually going to share my screen real quick to talk about like one of my smart plans, and you know, we can all just kind of, you know, add our 2 cents if that's cool with you guys.
Sure. I also wanted to share, I think, you know, kind of just to piggyback on what Shannon said too, like I think when I first started creating custom smart plans, like I kind of got hung up on the actual process of like, it used to be click and drag, but now it's like click, like, okay, email, and then that opens up. And what do I want the email to look like? And I don't really know what I want to say. I find it a lot easier to open up like a blank document, like a Word document or a Google document, and be like, okay, I know that I'm going to want to send a text at some point. What do I want the text to say? And I don't really focus too much on the order of things yet. And I just kind of build out like some text content, some email content. Perhaps there's a task, what I want that task to be. And then from there, I copy and paste them into the smart plan as I'm ordering them. And I just find that that seems to be a little bit easier to kind of wrap my head around versus trying to do it directly in the smart plan.
I so love that, Laura. It's so true.
Nick, I had a thought. So I was just, I just put this out to my Facebook group for smart plans and just said, who has a great Father's Day smart plan? Can we create a Father's Day smart plan and show people how it's done?
Ooh.
Because I think we should have I mean, and that's going to be really simple, right? Father's Day is this coming weekend. So that's what I was thinking about it. But how many people in your database could you reach out to with a smart plan that just says, Happy Father's Day. I hope you have a great day. Or, you know, something along that lines. Or, hey, I have time open on Saturday. Would you like to go out and I wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day for Sunday as well, or something along that lines. Can we get creative?
Yeah, I think that would be I think we could definitely do that 100%. So why don't we then let's do that. I'm just going to show real quickly what Laura was talking about, because I always you know, start my smart plans on a Google Drive. And this one I've shared with lots of agents. And so at any given moment, there's a bunch of agents on here, which is sweet. I love seeing that. And, you know, I just kind of write it out, right? And I write the text, delays, emails, phone calls, you know, whatever it is. And I just kind of see how it flows. I don't typically write it within the actual smart plan feature itself. And then when I want to then take it over to command, then I start to, you know, add the different widgets and steps and so on and so forth. But like, this is one that I created for a condo listing that my mother actually had in New Jersey, and I was running some ads for her. But the thing is, like, you can use the same smart plan over and over and over again for different properties, right? So like, anytime I want to tweak this or edit it for a condo in another town, or even a house in another town, I just have to go through and then just edit certain aspects, edit town names, you know, edit condo to house, or any links that I might add there in relation to the house that I'm advertising. So like, I just want to kind of talk about how you would approach Facebook opportunities. And it has to be it has to be softer, right? These aren't people that are typically ready to buy right now. So, hey, Lesley, it's Nick with Keller Williams. I put a condo for sale on Facebook, and you clicked on it. I'm sure you're not looking to make a move just yet. but is Montclair an area that you're interested in or that's of interest to you? So like right there, that's like, basically I'm just saying, hey, I posted on Facebook. You clicked on it, right? And then that's being very social and a very soft approach, and then getting in front of an objection. I know you might not be looking to make a move just yet, but is Montclair an area of interest to you? Or you could say, I know you're not ready to make a move just yet, but I'm curious what made you click on that property, right? Something along those lines. If you're calling them first, hey Lesley, it's Nick with KW. Listen, I was just giving you a call because a little bit ago you clicked on a house that I had for sale on Facebook. And, I love to get feedback from my sellers. So if there's anything you loved or didn't love about the house, I'd really like to hear about it. And they go, oh, I clicked on it because, I don't know, it was a colonial. Oh, that's so cool. So you like colonials? And then you kind of like switch the conversation from, oh, you were asking for feedback, but then they go, I clicked on it. Oh, because it was a colonial. I like the way it looked. Oh, so what you're telling me is you like colonials, right? And then you get into this whole other, why do you like colonials? Well, I like, colonial is different in every market, but in the New Jersey market, center hall colonial, you walk in and then the living and dining room, and then in the middle is the stairway, center hall. Oh, I like the way it's laid out. It's very traditional. And oh, cool. So like, what do you like about traditional? Oh, and then they get into telling you why they like it. And then you kind of switch that conversation. Oh, cool. So what you're saying is you clicked on it because it was a colonial because you liked those. So if you were in the market, that's probably the house that you'd be interested in looking at. So you've completely flipped the switch without them even realizing it, right? But just the case, and then the email goes out. It's a similar email to the text, and it's sent at the very same time because I want to make sure I have the contact information correctly. And I'm referencing to the fact, I'm sending the exact same email, right? I might actually add in here, like, I sent you a text message as well, because sometimes the number's wrong, with the email's right, and vice versa. Anytime if you guys have anything you want to interject, let me know.
I think this is a really good, go ahead, Lesley.
Sorry, real quick. I was just going to add the importance of merge fields here. If we didn't have the use of merge fields, then our life would be miserable. Like, forget it. We wouldn't even, exactly, miserable. There wouldn't be a need of a smart plan if we didn't have merge fields. So merge fields will capture their name automatically. And so it's so important, like Nick was saying, to create like a blanketed smart plan that you can use on any listing, and then use those merge fields over here on the right hand side. So Nick is clicking on it, and you just pull their contact first name. I find that the contact first name, just that is more human. It's more of a human experience rather than being like, hello, Nick Baldwin. Right. You could say that. You could pull the first name and last name, but again, we want to make it approachable, right?
You've got everything, like your first and last name, your team name, your KW app link. So if you're adding your KW app link into a smart plan, you don't even need to know the link, because when let's say I wanted to add it here, right? I would just click KW app link and it would automatically populate it. So merge fields are so important because it pulls all the contact information from the data that it has. I also want to show you, like, this is on day 2 where I'm saying, hey, Lesley, because it will put the lead's name in there. Hey, Lesley, I wanted to send you a revised list of condos for sale in Montclair for you to take a look at. Let me know how I can be of assistance and if you'd like me to change the criteria for you. So I took a saved search from my website and I shortened it with bit.ly. And basically what happens is, because we have IDX on our websites, this link will always refresh in real time with new listings as they come on the market. So the condo was around 200,000. So I've put it around this price point. It was a 2-bedroom. I think I selected condos and townhomes. And so this link will change in real time because the market's always changing. So you'll never need to update that link that you throw in here, which makes it really easy.
So can we talk about this for a moment? Because I think you're about to blow a couple people's minds. Are you saying that you can send a link to a saved search on your agent site, Nick? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, so I'll show you how that works, okay? So let's say I'm creating this smart plan and I want to throw a saved search in the smart plan, or I want to text a saved search from my website to a client or to a prospective buyer. You don't have to be signed in to do that. So I'm going to go and open up my website, and I am going to look in, let's do 07028, my town in New Jersey, and that'll pull up properties. But let me do this. Let me reset everything for this. I just have to reset it all. Okay, so I'm looking at 07028, which is Glen Ridge, New Jersey. And in order to create a link on my website that I can add to a smart plan or text to a client that never changes, I type in the town or the zip code or the neighborhood, and then I'm like, okay, my client is looking for houses, between 500 and
20 million.
let's say
5
500
million to 20 million.
Let's say 500 and a million. And it's going to be 3+ beds. They want a house and for sale. I'll send them active and pendings just because sometimes that helps them see what's on the market and what's not. And we'll do
Look at these big houses. I live in Seattle. I'm looking at that first one going, it's a castle. Like, that's amazing.
That's the price of a 1-bedroom condo in Seattle.
If you're lucky.
This is what I miss about New Jersey, Northern New Jersey. It's all character. It's beautiful, right? Not every house is different. So, okay. So I've gotten this link here, right? And so what I do is if you copy, right? Let's say then you're going to want to shorten it, right? But if I copy this link and I save it somewhere and then I send it to somebody and they paste it or open it in their browser, that saved search never goes away. See, on a different window, 500 to a million, 3+ beds, house for sale, and 2+ baths. So if I bring this into, bit.ly.com, which is a link shortener, because sending a link that long to someone's cell phone is completely spam, and it'll take 3 text messages to send the entire thing. So I'm going to just go to bit.ly.com and throw the link in there, and I'll call it, Glen Ridge, New Jersey homes, and then I'll save it. Oh, I want to actually, I can customize this. And the consumer trusts Bitly because they know it. And so basically, if I added this link into this smart plan, replaced it with Montclair condos, and this text message went out, when the person clicks on that link through the text message and they open it up on their phone or an email, wherever you're inserting it, see that saved search I just created on my website still exists.
I'd love to use this for just reduced or reduced in the last 7 days,
which
is fantastic, because then it's referenced to a month from now. They're still getting the houses that have been reduced in the last 7 days.
Yeah. So if you go into more and you want to send people homes that have been reduced in the last 7 days, just toggle that. And now you have Glen Ridge homes for sale that have been reduced in the last week. And you can see just exactly how much, they've gone. So every time you send that link, that Bitly link that you saved, it's going to update and it's going to remain the same no matter who you send it to and where, because you've just created it on your website. And a lot of people don't realize that you can do that as one-offs, or 2-offs, or as many as you want, because the link never goes away.
And I think this is really important because the whole point of smart plans, which are the crown jewel of Command in a lot of ways, right, is that you want to stay hyper local, hyper authentic, hyper focused. And if you're going to set your consumer on just a nonstop saved search, that they're going to get emails about the saved search long after they've even been interested in this criteria, it comes off as ingenuine. Whereas if you can structure a smart plan based around information that you got around someone and send them an updated search via text and or email a couple of times, get them to sign in on the Keller Williams platform, and then you can start seeing what they're actually looking at. Now you can tailor that neighborhood snapshot smart plan and some of those custom save searches in Command based off of all this information. So earlier I was going to say, I'm a big fan of tying our platform together And then luckily, Nick, you were like, oh, this is where your app link goes in. And I was like, yes, right? Like nailed it. So this is actually a really good example, I think, of the full circle end-to-end platform, right? Like we have the communication, we have a saved search, we have the super cool bit.ly link thing that kind of, you know, makes it a little bit more presentable, but it goes straight back into a smart plan. And it's literally this cyclical, the bad word, thing that helps you stay in contact with your consumer. Not to mention, again, the logging in on the platform as well.
Well, it's also, if you sent this link to one of your clients, you know, it would, and they have your app, it would then open up on their app on their phone. So,
right.
You know, it's one of those things that just kind of picks up like where you left off, no matter what device they're on. And you know, the thing that I love about it is because the links never change. Like I could run endless ads on Montclair condos for sale in around the 200 mark and use this same link for like ever and ever and ever and ever and ever because of the saved search that I created on my website that I've now embedded in my smart plan. You know what I mean? It's called leverage. Yeah. It's called leverage. And I think I have one more down here. This is, wait, no, where is it? Oh, I thought I had one. Oh, I do. Here's a neighborhood. I do one for neighborhoods too. Same thing, you know? So anyway, it's all about like the approach and being creative and like Lesley said, just being you know, just coming from a place of curiosity and customer service. And whenever you come from those two places, if someone's rude to you, like that's on them, really. You know what I mean? Like I had a lady message me the other day. She goes, I'm looking to rent. And she was like mad. You could hear her yelling through the email, right? She goes, and I have told you I'm not looking to buy. So I literally sent her a Loom video on how to change her search criteria from purchase to sale. From buying to renting. I was like, hey, whatever your name is, Nancy, here's a really 30-second video on how exactly you could go in and change your own criteria. Let me know if you need any further assistance. She watched the video and then emails me back, take me off your list.
I don't want to help myself. I want you to help me, but don't help me.
I came from, she didn't like being proven wrong. So it's all good. You just got to be nice and you always win. So
amazing. I can't believe you sent a consumer a Loom video. That is.
Yeah. I was like, hey, here's how you go into the account and change your.
I love it.
Like,
that is salty. I love it.
And then I was like, if you want to unsubscribe, here's the button right there.
Oh no, unsubscribe.
So great.
Unsubscribe.
You got techie.
There's like flashing arrows. He's like, if you want it, you got to click it yourself.
Do this. No, you have to do that because like they're mad at you, but they're the ones that opted in and they're the ones that say you're sending them the wrong listings. And I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually go right here and click rent. You know what I mean? Like,
that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Hey,
can
I share my screen? I have the featured listings up on what that looks like on our agent site.
If anyone's watching, if you have any questions, let us know. And Laura's going to show you how to add featured listings to your website.
I thought you were about to say Laura's going to answer all your questions, and I was like, oh, but yeah. No, I'm sure. All right. Oh, you disabled screen sharing, my friend. Oh. Can you re-enable that?
Yeah, I can do
that. You do a Loom video showing him how?
Oh gosh. Should I do a Loom video, a screen share on how to do a Loom video and then do it of... Can you guys see my screen, my featured listings?
Ma'am.
Okay, cool beans. So this is my agent website that I've changed to sort of a tech trainer resource website, but this is seattletechtrainer.kw.com. So it could be, you know,
you did your website for, I got you. So you did it. Wait.
No, Nick, Jason Abrams gave me a very special website for a tech trainer just for me.
No. If he did, I'm calling him right now.
No, this is just my agent site. So you know how you can customize your URL? I just changed it to seattletechtrainer.kw.com.
Love it.
And then totally stole this from Connect, the background image. Anyhow, so when you enable your featured listings now in Command, this is where they show up. You can show up to 12. They don't have to be your listings, so you could feature anyone's listings. We actually have a story in our region where he's one of our Market Center tech trainers. I shared this on our call. He added it to his site on our call, and then later on that weekend accepted an offer that was over asking, and the buyers found the listing on his featured listings on his site.
Nice.
So I know, it's so exciting.
That's so awesome.
I know. And so this is where your featured listings are going to show up, just, to show you if I'm a buyer and I'm clicking on the featured listing. Let me refresh my page here. Anyway, you can click on your featured listing. There we go. I needed to refresh it. It was up for a little while. And then it'll take you straight to the listing site with all the information. I'm logged in as a consumer here. So in Command, it's going to give me a notification saying that the consumer logged in. But as an agent, how you, oopsies, wrong page. How you set up these featured listings is, of course, in Command. So you're going to go to Consumer and head straight to Site and App Settings in this top right corner. And then just so you guys know, when you are doing your featured listings for the first time, you're going to want to go through the Kelly guide, because it might show you like an accidental 404 error or whatever. That's getting fixed, but you didn't do anything wrong. Just go through your Kelly guide in the top right corner and get that set up the first time, and then it'll look like this. So check it out. What you do is you click on featured listings, and then you click select listings. So I'm going to select a new listing. I'm going to select all listings. Who's got a listing they want to brag about for a minute? Who's got an address they can throw my way?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
I got you one. Hold on one second.
Okay. Thanks, friend. Thanks, friend.
Let's give a shout out to one of my agents who texted me a listing address today. Give me a minute.
It's always so great when you're on a regional call and you're like, shoot, I need a listing. And you ask, and it's like, boom, in the chat. Okay, I'm ready.
I got it. 195 Lansing Street with an S, Lansing.
Lansing Street. And this is
Columbus,
where?
Ohio. Columbus.
This one? Right here?
That looks like it. Isn't it a cutie?
Hooray. Okay. Adding
I
that
mean,
one.
can we just celebrate real quick though that you're able to go search her listing even if it's in a different state? Like that is super cool. Just saying.
It totally breaks down the MLS walls, and I love that. It gives people the opportunity to be a resource for anyone who they know in their sphere. I totally agree. Good point. Should we get risky? Should we get risky? Does anyone have an MLS number they want to give me? Now I'm just feeling bold.
You ready?
I'm just feeling bold. I'm ready.
I got that
okay.
one. Oh, you already got that one. Go with Nick's. Go with Nick's.
No, I don't have one. Go ahead.
Okay. Well,
I'm doing something on my end real quick because I want when you're done, I want to show them something.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Nick's
start
creating
fresh.
a Loom video while we're talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Laura, clear out of there and start fresh so that it's not so that we can see that it's a new listing, because that listing's already there. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So
I've got
here we go. We added Lansing.
Okay. So go back in
and okay, I'm ready.
Okay. 2200. Oh, I didn't clear it out. Okay, 18274. Look at that. Fancy.
I don't know what you mean by clear out.
Well, I was just thinking that you would cancel and so that it wouldn't be there when you opened back up again, but that's
no,
okay.
I want to keep them. I want to show everyone where they go. What am I looking for?
Perfect.
What am I looking for?
That's it right there. You got it. 195 Lansing Street. You found it with the
it's that one. I get it. I get it. I got it.
That's what I was saying. It would clear out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we found it by the same listing by MLS or address. I want to add one more. Does anyone else have an address or MLS that they can give me real fast so I can show what it looks like on that site?
Sure. Ready?
Yep, I'm ready for you.
Okay.
Address or MLS number?
Okay, I'll give you the address because I don't have the. Oh, here's the MLS. Hold on. It's 363. Hold on, I'm trying to. Okay, yeah. See, 4156.
3634156.
Yes.
Is it this one? Highland Avenue?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay,
Yay.
here we go. So I'm going to save my changes. Now, if I wanted them to show up in a different order, I could just click and drag. I am partial to my region though, so I'm going to keep ours first. And then I'm going to click Save Changes. Featured listing saved correctly. Now I'm going to go back to my page. I'm going to refresh. It can take a few moments. So I'm feeling really bold by just doing this. Oh, here they are. That's so exciting.
Check it out.
So now as a consumer, I can click through and see all the featured listings that are on my agent site. And then again, we could click on this one.
Look at that house, how cute that is.
I know.
Like, seriously, Laura, if you came and lived in that house, look at the price and we could all work together. You, me, and Nick all in one state.
And I could get a dog.
Can the state of Ohio handle so much excitement?
All right, so that's how you do feature listings. Nick, I am ready for you to steal the screen from me whenever you want.
Can I just add one more thing?
Go ahead,
Sure. So and I think there's a lot of confusion too, because like people are like, oh yeah, let's do the Kelly guide. So so this is just for all of you. When you, like Laura said, when you go to site and app settings and the consumer applet, you want to pick learn more with Kelly guides and click the consumer option. Okay. So the consumer option will get you to that, adding to that feature listing section.
What she
said. Just wanted to get it out there because
what she said.
Another way to, you just don't want to confuse anyone. So.
Great.
Thank you. That's a good point. And I've already gone through it, so it doesn't look the same anymore. So thanks for that, Lesley.
Yeah, girlfriend.
Whatever Lesley said, she's the smartest one of all of us.
That might be true. That might be true. When she puts her glasses on, I believe it.
And the calmest. She's got this inner zen.
You have to make me host again.
Oh, well, ladies, do I want to do that? Do I want to make Nick the host again?
Questionable.
All right. I'm totally buying time by looking for how to do that again. Okay, let's see. Or make host.
Yeah.
Change host. There we go.
No, you can do it. Okay, so let me show you. Hold on. Actually, before I do that, I have to make sure that this email I sent myself showed up. Okay, perfect. It did. All right. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to share my screen in about 2 seconds. Okay.
Elevator music.
Do 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 do.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, I know I'm being a real pain in the neck right now. It's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Okay, so let me share my screen. Here we go. All right. When you create your featured listing list on your website, obviously it's shown, right here on the bottom, like Laura showed us. And in command, you can name it whatever you want. Beautiful new listings, right? Let's say that's what you were going to call it. But you'll notice that beautiful new listings doesn't reflect here on featured listings. It doesn't show that. However, let me make sure this sends to me. Okay, it does. It did. When you go into your app, this is a screenshot of the app. It automatically puts your featured listings as a collection in your saved searches. So your clients, whenever they go into their collections or their saved searches, they will always see beautiful new listings or our team's new listings, right? Imagine going to a listing consultation and you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, one of the values that we offer is we have X amount of people on our mobile app. And when we take your listing, because it's featured, it gets put into a collection that all of our clients see no matter what in their saved searches. And so that's where it shows up on the app. And I sent myself here's the video. I just made a really quick video on my phone. When you click into, you got to give me a second while this downloads.
Did you do this while I was talking?
Yeah. When you click,
oh my gosh, she's so good at that.
Yeah. When you click into that collection, it shows all the 6 listings that I had on my on my homepage as a collection or a saved search within your app.
I'm going to come clean right now and say, I just texted our group. I had no idea that that was the case. And honestly speaking, there's been a mystery collection in my app that I didn't know where it came from. And I know where it came
So
from.
that's the cool part. Like the featured listings on your website are cool and all, but it's even cooler when it's saved as a search in your app.
Yep.
No matter what, all of your clients see. So imagine you have several hundred people on your app and you go into a listing consultation, you go, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your listing by default will go into basically a forced save search. So no matter what, all of our clients using your app will see it whenever it hits the market. And so that's a really great value proposition. So your featured listings on your app get saved as a collection. So a lot of people don't know that. And I think it's a really huge value proposition.
It's awesome.
That is, and you know, when you're talking to your consumers as well, if you're walking into a high profile, high level listing that you're competing hard for, I encourage you to whip out your app, show them what that does, add a listing from, so this is from, not to get too technical, where we're getting some of this data is what we're calling kind of a KWLS 2.0. So there's a lot of listing data in there. If that house has been sold before, you can most likely find it in different places in there as well. So I encourage you to grab a listing that, an active listing that you already have, try to find that listing from the last time it was sold, and show your consumer or your future seller, look, this is what I can do for your listing. This is where I can highlight it. This is how the buyers are going to see it. When I put it on this page, it's going to show up in a buyer's collection. So it's going to be front and center, whether or not they knew that listing came online. There's a lot of value for you as an agent to show your sellers as well.
Oh, I love this. I love this point, because can we just show everybody how to bulk select everybody and add a ton of people to one smart plan so it saves everybody time? Because I think to Laura's point, that kind of like sums it all
I
up.
got you. That's like my favorite thing.
I gotta make you hug.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
We're totally like, I love how we're like, oh no, I'll show you how to bulk add. So you're just gonna hop up into contacts. And this is always a mystery because I was helping someone with their list earlier or late last week. So I think I have people in here. Here we go. So if you want to, what I like to say, add a large group of people to one communication plan, meaning if you'd like to bulk add people to a smart plan, super easy. You're going to, well, if you have more than 10 people in your database, hopefully you do, you can click on this and go up to 50, right? Select all in this little box, and then click on select bulk action, and then pop down to add to smart plan. And then it's just gonna slide out. It's like one of my favorite things. And then let's pretend that this, I think this is actually Nick's Facebook lead smart plan. That's funny. Let's pretend that this is our featured listing smart plan, or the smart plan that has that like shortened featured listing link to it. You click select, and then you can choose. You can choose to start everyone right now on a smart plan. Be careful. If there's a text message in here and you send this out to everyone right now, if you are prepared to be glued to your seat and your phone and capitalize on that engagement, by all means, fire that missile. Go for it.
And don't forget what it does to your tasks on your screen as well. If you have 1,000 people that this is going out to, you're going to have 1,000 tasks every time that comes up.
It's true. If you do it all now, it'll also add to your task list. So you will forever be behind on your tasks. If you're like me, that doesn't really make a difference. Oh yeah. For me, that doesn't make a difference. I'm always behind on my tasks anyway. So I'm like, yeah, pile them on. But if that bothers you, like a lot of people it does, you should maybe consider staggering. So let's say we're adding 10 people to the smart plan right now. I could add 2 a day for 5 days. I could add 5 a day for 2 days. I could add 1 a day for 10 days, right? It just depends on how many people you want to add to that smart plan at a time. I get a lot of questions like, well, why would I delay? Why would I pick it on a certain date? And one of my favorite ones as an example to give is, say you're doing a client appreciation event, or say you're doing an event of some sort. and you know that you're going to want to follow up with these people immediately following that event. Or say you have an open house planned and everyone who you meet at the open house is going to get added at, you know, after that, you can schedule people on a certain date because you're going to be super prepared and have your communication plan built out in advance, right? So you can add people knowing that it's not going to send out until whatever trigger event happens.
Also, like, let's just say you want to wish somebody a happy new year, right? You know, and you set like 100 people up on a happy new year plan, and you do that, you know, on December 1st, you'll know that by January 1st, that text is going to go out, and you don't even have to think twice about it, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
Well,
That's
and
a good
then
one
like,
too.
and then like totally going back to where Laura was and showing you all about featured listings, you guys could set everybody up on a smart plan by promoting your app. So you could tell Mr. and Mrs. Seller, not only are we featuring your listing on our app, I just sent out everyone in my database my app so that they have your listing in their hands. So huge value proposition when you go to Mr. and Mrs. Seller.
Mine equals blown. You know what I've noticed a lot of times, and this isn't anybody's fault, right? I think, and I've just noticed this over time, over years of being an agent and a team leader, like agents, and by the way, not a bad thing. We tend to lack creativity, and we tend to lack the ability to improvise, right? And to think outside the box. Like technology isn't so cut and dry. Like there's so many different things that you can use these features for, right? And so I think once you start studying what other people are doing, start watching some videos, you know, start having conversations with agents in your office about how they're using it, you know, you're going to come up with things like, well, I wonder why I would stagger a plan, or I wonder why I would delay a text. Well, we just gave you a bunch of reasons, right? And why would I feature listings? Well, we just told you why, right? So there's these things that you just have to start having epiphanies about, you know? And when you go
and it starts with using them, right? Like you kind of don't know until you start to use it, and then you get that use case and you're like, oh, I'm glad they have this, or maybe I could do this in the future knowing that this exists.
I mean, a lot of us,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Lesley.
Oh, sorry, Nick. No, I was just going to say last week, I think Shannon even mentioned it too, is put yourself on a smart plan.
Yep.
For sure. I did it this morning, exactly what I said. So I was doing a smart plan to my agents, my team leaders, and over the weekend, I couldn't get my stuff together. And this morning I was in a hurry, and guess what? I hit send without checking it to myself. So now it says, hey, it's Shannon Dager.
Did you talk back to yourself? Because that's always fun too.
I loved that. So I was like, and so somebody replied, and I was like, and this is why I always tell you in class to send it to yourself first. Just demonstrate.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Every single time. Always run it on yourself first.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, I forgot what I was going to say, but I say a lot of things, so whatever.
I get a lot of questions from
My
agents
fault,
like,
Nick.
well, what does the neighborhood nurture look like? Like, what does that look like? And same thing as Shannon's advice. Add yourself as a contact, add a couple of neighborhoods, and add yourself to that nurture. And honestly, for me, it really like the light bulb kind of went off, because I was like, oh, this is what the experience is on that other half. It's really hard to imagine, like, okay, so I got this whole, like, the funny one for me is the long-term nurture, right? There's so many steps. So you're looking at this and you're like, okay, oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I thought I was still sharing my screen. Anyway, you're looking at this.
We're like, what's she looking at?
You recording?
So Monday, I see you Monday. So you're looking at this giant list, right? And then it's like, okay, a link to a monthly neighborhood nurture. What does that look like? Then there's a 10-day delay. It's hard to wrap your head around because it looks a lot different than a lot of other pieces of text. So adding yourself to that smart plan just kind of eliminates some of that mystery or big question mark around it. So if you want to know what it would look like for your neighborhood, just send yourself your own neighborhood nurture. I love getting my neighborhood nurture once a month. Mine comes out on Sundays for whatever reason. Like the cadence has just been Sundays. And it's like my coffee and Sunday morning reading, because, you know, tech nerds, real estate nerds.
Can I just also say that I love when my husband's looking at homes that I don't even know it until I get that update in command. I'm like, oh, you're looking at homes, huh? I like your price range. Let's increase that a little bit though.
Absolutely. Lesley's like, come on, we got to jack up the price range a little.
The other day, my wife texted me because my in-laws have a little cabin up on Lake Huron in Caseville, Michigan, and my wife was like texting me, some little cabins that she wants to maybe get one at some point, and she sends me this link from Zillow, and I'm like, can you please like use my app, please? She's like, oh my gosh, yes, haha, lol. So then I created a collection of homes for sale in Caseville that, are in the price range that we would be looking at. And so now she joined, and now, she's all into it, like adding stuff to the collection. But I'm like,
that's
really?
awesome.
Really?
Well, did you have her on the Promote My App Smart Plan?
No, but I do have her. I do have her on other smart plans. Remember the numbers, remember to tell her I love her and things like that. And I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
your personal relationship smart plan.
Yeah.
Like,
I love you, by the way.
This one, I love you so much.
put your wedding anniversary in as a home anniversary date.
Yeah. Like everything.
Make a contact card that says like honey. So like the first name is honey. Hey honey. It's like automated.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
No,
I love it.
like I was saying before, you guys got to improvise and think outside the box. Create a smart plan for your significant other, and you'd be like the best. You'd be like the best significant other ever. Oh my gosh!
We should put. You know
It'll be
what?
like, why do you bring me flowers every Tuesday at 4:03 p.m.?
So now people are going to start using Smart Plans to work with their Match.com profile.
I was just
Love
going to
it.
say that. So when this is a personal TMI, but being in sales, I needed to put a metric to something. And so I went on 100 dates or attempted to go on 100 dates on these online apps because I was like, this is terrible. I just need to get this process over with. I just need to meet somebody. And so I actually crossed out a sales tracker for the business that I own, and I started crossing off my dates. I wish that Smart Plans existed because I would have totally done it.
Oh my gosh, that's
so
hilarious, Laura.
I mean, are we surprised?
So anyway, on that note, Laura, no, that's great. I think it's fantastic. No, it wasn't even on that note, but I think unless you guys have any final words, we could say.
Do we have any questions from the group?
I was going to say, do we have any questions?
And no questions, just people lots of people jumping on and watching and saying you guys are awesome and saying, Erin Brumleave says, yay, Lesley.
Hi, Erin.
Loves you.
That's so fun.
So anyway, we just hope that these, bring you guys some insight into what you can do with the tech, and we'll be coming at you every couple weeks.
And I'll be sure to get everyone their Bumble Smart Plan by the end of the week.
Father's Day Smart Plans. Come on.
You can automate your follow-up with dates or something. So,
Wish all your clients happy Father's Day Sunday.
Oh,
We
we
don't
forgot.
have to call them. That's okay. We got through what we needed to get through. We showed from value. We got it. Don't worry.
So basically what you do is create a text or an email and then click all the fathers and then set it to deploy on Father's Day. There you go. That's
Well, it might be good to think about it this way too. You could send out a note reminding people to put a card in the mail to their father.
Ooh, that would be good.
But you have to make sure that their father is still
living.
That's
Yes.
a valid point. Or a link to Amazon to great Father's Day gifts.
Or a
haven't yet
link to a
purchased it.
YouTube video about a funny dad video, the videos of the dad reflexes, catching their kid before they
I love
flop
those
off the couch or
videos.
something.
Those are the
That could be
best
funny.
videos.
Well, those are the creative things you can do.
Yeah, Zaid Zamani, you asked a question about Facebook leads. I think you jumped in a little bit late. So when we sign off, go ahead and watch it. It's more towards the beginning. We talk about Facebook lead Smart Plans. Cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for being on and watching us. We'll see you next time on episode 3.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Episode 3, a very special episode. Just kidding. That's what I used to say about
build up.
Right. You don't want to miss it. All right. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.